USC punches their ticket to the Pac-12 championship game as they take down UCLA in an all-time classic shootout. USC's defense steps up when they're needed most, and Caleb Williams shows why he's the best quarterback in the entire country. And did we witness the breakthrough moment of Corey Foreman's USC career? We'll talk about all of that and more on this week's Trojan Game Review. Hey guys, welcome into this week's game review. Wow, just wow. That was a phenomenal, crazy roller coaster of a game. That's how this game should be played and how it should feel every single year. This game was meaningful, with big implications for both teams, and both teams showed up and played their hearts out. Now in my preview, I said that this game is going to come down to the head coach QB matchup, and that's exactly what we saw. Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams out-dueled Chip Kelly and DTR. And how could I fail to mention that UCLA, in fact, did not score 60? I don't even know where to start with this game. So many unsung guys stepped up and made huge plays at huge moments. Darwin Barlow, Tyrone Tellini, Kyle Ford, Corey Foreman. This team has so much fight, so much composure. They don't panic when they get down 14-0. I'm so excited to talk about and dive into this game with you guys, so let's not waste any more time. Let's talk about this USC offense. So things didn't start out perfectly for the offense. We were moving the ball very well, very efficiently, until we got into the red zone. Things really started to sputter when we got down there. We got stuffed on a 4th down try, we botched a field goal. We even saw Caleb Williams throw a very uncharacteristic interception. He literally just didn't see the UCLA defender and threw it right to him, which is really the first time I can recall that happening this year. But boy did things change, and in a hurry. Both Caleb Williams and this USC offensive line absolutely took over this game. The Caleb Williams praise is definitely coming, but we need to start with this offensive line. When Bobby Haskins came into this game, this offensive line absolutely turned it on. I mean, they were blasting the UCLA defensive line right off the ball. They were sealing off defenders, getting to the next level, and they were so nasty when they got to that second level. I mean, I saw Andrew Voorhees absolutely finishing people downfield. And talking about Bobby Haskins, I can't even imagine the week that he went through. Obviously transferring from Virginia and the awful events that happened there last week. He really battled through, and you saw the emotion come out at the end of that game. I'm so proud of Bobby, and obviously my heart goes out to him and everyone impacted by what happened at UVA. Okay, now let's talk about Caleb Williams. I mean, what else can be said? He's the best quarterback in the country. He's already the second best quarterback to ever play at USC. I still have Carson Palmer at 1 for now. Caleb is now the betting favorite to win the Heisman. Some of the things he does on the field don't even make sense. The sidearm throws, the on-the-run dimes. I mean, if you just saw Caleb Williams highlights, but the quarterback was just a silhouette, you would swear you were watching Patrick Mahomes. Okay, so I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't love some of Caleb's comments last week when he was talking about this rivalry game. He was saying how it's not more important than other games, and he was sort of just downplaying the significance of it. Now we see that it was all just talk. He wanted this game. He needed this game. If you just look at his reaction when the game was over, that told the entire story. He heard all the noise that was coming from Westwood. He really just took this game by the throat. He was so excited to ring the bell after the game was over. He's a Trojan, guys, and he's one of the best talents we've seen at the quarterback position in a very long time. Now, of course, he wasn't perfect. I mentioned the interception earlier, and of course, he should have ran for that 1st down instead of throwing to Josh Follow on the sideline. But I mean, the rest of the game was just a masterclass of offensive football. 3 total touchdowns and over 500 total yards. Yeah, he's pretty good. Get him his ticket to New York City now. He will be a Heisman finalist. And much like Carson Palmer did in 2002, he has the chance to show out on national TV against Notre Dame in the Coliseum. Alright, now moving over to the rest of the offense. Let's talk Austin Jones. What a performance. He was on a mission in this game. Earlier in the year, I said it on this channel, I thought he lost his confidence. And you watch him in this game and he ran with so much anger. He ran with so much physicality. He honestly ran like there was no tomorrow. There was no second guessing. He really just got behind his pads and he had a phenomenal game. He and the other running backs had 26 written on their wrists, obviously the number of Travis Dye, and they ran exactly like him. Even when he doesn't play, Travis Dye remains one of the most important players on the entire roster. And how about Darwin Barlow? He doesn't get 1 snap all game. He hasn't had 1 snap all year with the starters. Comes in at an absolutely critical time and has 2 incredible runs. He was super physical. I love the way he finished that touchdown run. Just awesome to see from him. I really hope he doesn't transfer, even though I think he could be elite if he was a number 1 back somewhere. Man, was it nice to have Jordan Addison back. I think people around the country kind of forgot how incredible he is. UCLA could not stop him. He was absolutely cooking those UCLA DBs. 11 receptions, 178 yards, and a score, and he made it look so easy while doing it. Great game from the reigning Biletnikoff winner. It really looked like the UCLA defense didn't realize that he was lined up in the backfield on that touchdown throw. They did a great job sneaking him back there. More great play design from Lincoln Riley. Great to see Kyle Ford stepping up again. He's finally looking healthy, and he's finally looking like that 5-star kid we all saw playing at Orange Lou. Brendan Rice continues to make really difficult catches, yet he drops the easy ones, so I don't really know what to make of that. He's a great blocker though. Mario Williams clearly wasn't 100%, so hopefully with yet another week of rest, he'll be full go for Notre Dame this week. Bottom line, this was a great game from this offense. It was a great game from Caleb Williams, all the receivers, the offensive line, the running backs, the coaching staff. Just a wonderful, awesome, fun performance. Now moving over to the defense. Yes, this defense gives up yards and lots of them. They gave up a lot of points in this one. We know they don't have the players on that side of the ball, but we've talked about that every week it seems, so I'm going to leave it at that, and we're only talking positives this week. First off, huge credit to defensive coordinator Alex Grinch. He's been dialing up very confusing and complex coverages all year, and none was bigger than the call on that last drive. Dropping Corey Foreman into coverage, getting that third interception of the game and the most pivotal drive of the game. Still weird though, because I was told that UCLA was going to put up 60. But huge credit to Grinch. A lot of SC fans have written him off, very unfairly in my opinion. I'm not bailing on the guy. He's shown me a lot this year. Another positive? Tyrone Tellini with the play that I have dubbed as the nutsack. He was a force in this game. The interior of that UCLA O-line could not handle his bull rush. He's been a breakout player in the last 4 or 5 games for SC, and they desperately needed his presence in this one. And how about Shane Lee? You know I've been on him all season. I've called him out on multiple occasions, but he showed out in this one. All year we have seen Zach Charbonnet run over people when he gets going downhill, but not Shane. Shane wrapped him up by himself on multiple occasions. He was great in pass coverage, he led the team with 9 tackles, and how about that interception? What an athletic play. Huge play too in terms of where the game was. Shane was not afraid of Zach Charbonnet one little bit, and he was taking it to him all night. Holding him to 95 yards on 19 carries is just a fantastic number for this USC run defense as a whole. And I know people say, oh, 5 yards a pop isn't great. But for a guy who's been averaging over 7 on the season, I'd say that's pretty outstanding. Now, Alex Grinch was asked what USC did to limit the Bruin running game, and this is what he had to say.
You guys shut down Zach Charbonnet a lot with runs up the middle. What do you think kind of went into that?
Yeah, moved. I'll say Thule. I mean, one word. And Kalen was behind him. No.
Now, it might be a little bit more complex than that, but he's pretty much right. Thule was just a force in this game. He finished with 6 tackles and 1.5 TFLs. Now, one of the reasons USC won this game was turnovers. Mekhi Blackman made a great play on that ball DTR threw behind his target. Now, we talked about the Shane Lee pick, but we need to talk about Corey Foreman. Think about what this guy has been through this year. A few weeks ago, I said that I think he's figured it out in terms of his work and practice habits. And he has clearly earned the trust of the coaching staff, and for him to step up in that moment after everyone has been doubting him, including myself. After the Oregon State game where he didn't play a snap, I thought he was going to transfer for sure. I really did. But what a moment for a guy who has so much potential, and he really took this moment and shined. He was the hero, guys. Seeing an edge rusher be that fluid and instinctive in space, I mean, just wow. You see why he was a 5-star? That athleticism is why people are so hard on him. He could be incredible. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this feels like the start of his ascent to being a very productive, if not elite player. Purely speculation, of course, but very exciting nonetheless. Overall, I do not care how many yards or points the defense gave up. That's a legit offense over there in Westwood, and 4 turnovers is more than enough for me. Alright, we're talking special teams this week. Now, whenever we are talking special teams on this channel, it's usually not for a good reason, and they are just awful. Truly, truly awful. Missed field goals, running kicks out when it never works, kicking off short and giving them the ball at the 45, not receiving the ball correctly on a kickoff and making the offense start with horrible field position. Need I continue? If any of you played football, you know special teams are about effort and execution, and that's pretty much it. It's really not hard at all. All I want at this point is for the special teams to be a net neutral. They are actively hurting this team. This is way worse than the John Baxter years, way worse. This needs to be fixed now. It's way too important. Alright, now that the special teams rant is out of the way, let's move to the final thoughts. What a huge win and a huge moment for this team to really come together and show the world that they're for real. Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in the country. I don't want to hear about Bryce Young. I don't want to hear about CJ Stroud. What Caleb Williams is doing is just remarkable. He is carrying this team on his back. And at this point, I really think it's his Heisman to lose. Unless CJ Stroud lights up Michigan, which I do not think is likely. But of course, all that will play out in due time. But the bottom line is that the victory bell is back where it belongs. We run LA. They did not score 60. But that is going to be all for me, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps a ton. I will talk to you Friday when we preview Notre Dame. But until then, take care and fight on.